So we keep all our whisky under lock and key in the warehouses. We've got 6 warehouses full of whisky at the moment. Let's go and have a look. So what we've got in here, you'll see all sorts of different types of casks. Sherry casks. We've got some new oak casks. We've got some Korean casks, 100% Korean whiskey. We've got small casks, they're quarter casks, 200 litre casks, and we've got some sherry butts on the bottom. We've got Malt, which is 100% Korean whiskey. This is called a whisky thief for stealing whiskey. In the old days, they used to be much shorter. When you wore long trousers, you could hide it in your trouser leg. You could walk about all day. Don't do this. I shouldn't tell people this because no one in Korea knows how to steal whiskey. I was born in a distillery, a place called Glenmurray in Scotland. My dad worked there, and I started work in 1980, which is 43 years ago. It's a long time, 43 and a bit years ago. Then worked for Glenlivet, and they were taken over by Chivas Seagram's. So I worked there until 1991, and I moved to Ben Nevis Distillery owned by Nika, and made lots and lots of Japanese whiskey in Scotland. Then we stayed there until 2001 and moved to Speyside Distillers. And I worked for Speyside Distillers doing their blending and distilling, looking after all the whiskey until 2012 when the company was sold. And then I decided to set up on my own, so I started to build malt whiskey distilleries all over the world. I went to America, built a few distilleries over there, including the biggest distillery on the East Coast. I met a guy called Brian Doe. He got in touch with me, and he had this stupid idea to build a distillery in Korea because no one had ever built a distillery in Korea. Koreans drink lots and lots of whiskey, so he decided it would be a good idea to build a whiskey in Korea. So I came over here, absolutely loved Korea, decided I would build a distillery here for him. It's been a good life choice for me. So this is some nice sherry whiskey. This is from Oloroso New Oak Cask, and it was filled in 2020. Be very sweet. Best part, I met my wife here, so that's the best part, Ji Young. So I found all the Koreans to be very friendly, very nice, very supportive. So Korea reminds me a bit of Scotland. It's very like Scotland. It's like small, so you can just about go from one end to the other in a day, but it changes so much. The scenery is beautiful. The weather, I love the 4 seasons here. We travelled all over Korea looking for sites. I love cycling, so I cycled all over Korea looking at different places. You know, this might be a good place. Brian would have a look and see if there was anything, and eventually we settled on the site in Namyangju. So one of the things this site gives us is the fact in the winter time, we came and saw it in January, and there was snow on the ground. It was freezing cold. The sun was shining down in the valley below. But up here it was in the shadow, and it stays in the shadow for nearly 3 months. So in the winter time, the temperature drops like a stone, and in the summertime it's really hot. So the whiskey in the cask just goes crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Plus, we've also got really, really good spring water. One of the key things in making whiskey is really, really good spring water. So this is why we chose Namyangju, the water and the climate. When I started out, the job descriptions changed a lot. Master distiller. Master distiller used to be something that you worked very hard, and it was like a recognition from your peers that you knew what you were doing in all aspects of distilling. Nowadays, everyone calls himself a master distiller. Blender is very much about taking all the different whiskies in the casks, turning it into the whiskey. A master blender's job is like being a fortune teller. I look at these casks and I've got to tell what they're going to be like in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time. Doing the samples is pretty much about building up a knowledge over a long period of time. So you try different flavours, you get different things come out of different casks. And when you sample them, like Everyone assumes every cask is going to be wonderful. It isn't. We're not so bad because we're very strict on the casks that we buy. You never get what you think, so it takes a long time to build up the knowledge. So the best way to drink whiskey, and there's been lots and lots of scientific studies done about this, is drink whiskey at 34% to get the most flavour out of it. This whiskey has just come out of the cask here. It's probably 58-59% alcohol. Way too strong. It just overwhelms your taste buds. But if you actually want to enjoy the whiskey, add some water and take it down to about 34% alcohol, and you get maximum, your taste buds react the best, and you'll pick up lots and lots of different small flavours. Okay, I'm going to go and enjoy my dram in peace. Thank you very much. You see, it's all burnt inside, so the casks burn to open up the wood. This is called a char, and you get 5 different chars in a cask. First char is very, very light. Don't know anyone that uses number 1 char casks. Second char is a little bit more burnt, and then 3's even more, 4's even more, and 5 you practically set the cask on fire. We use mainly number 3's, but we sometimes use a 2 and we use a 4. If you come and have a look here at the edge of the cask, this dark line here, this line along here, this is how far into the wood the whiskey's gone. So in 1 year the whiskey's gone that far in. In Scotland, to get the whiskey to go that far into the wood, you'd probably be looking at 7-8 years. And then because it's so hot in the summer, the range of temperature with the whiskey is up over 30 degrees, the actual whiskey in the cask in the summer. And in the winter, it'll go back to about -7, -8, even colder. Because here in the winter time, it's going to drop to -15, 20. I think the coldest we've seen, it's -30 for a couple of weeks.